Welcome to Jacob V Weekly. We want to start again by inviting you to donate to Caddyshack of Hamel, Illinois. Caddyshack IL on Facebook. Donate now. We are celebrating 666 plus cats rescued since 2017. Every dime goes straight to saving and treating and adopting out real cats in need. I've been there. I've seen it several times. Help them. All my pets are rescued. Save a life or 9. The Patreon is live. Okay? Again, the Patreon is live, and unlike this show, the Patreon is much closer to being on schedule. This show has been interrupted by several factors we'll talk about today. I'm happy to be back with everybody. Joe bought a house. His semester started. You know what I mean? My baby's got to be in school. It's been back to school season at my store. It's been insane. I'm just glad we could all find the time. Oh, Patreon. Again, posting new original content exclusive to Patreon every week, including live performances, previously unreleased content, things of that nature. Lots of things to get into. I'm actually over the Elizabeth Cook story, but this has been blowing up recently. Wild Elizabeth Cook saga grips internet sleuths in St. Louis and beyond by my friend Daniel down there at the RFT. Oh, it started as an attempted car theft gone wrong and turned into like this lady was like living in this guy's house and we don't know if she killed him or not or some shit crazy. Let's see if we have any updates. I mean, goodness gracious me, oh my. This is my first time doing this solo, so excuse me. And when I'm looking to my left like this, I think I'm looking at you, because I'm looking at the viewers in the chat, so feel free to keep me company here. But I think we're going to make do. Oh my. So Elizabeth Cook's in jail in Illinois. Who's Jeff again? Man. Yeah. Great. So they think she may have acquired resources, I guess, from this guy who is deceased and who didn't have a whole lot of family. So maybe she offed him. Jesus. On a more positive note, date ColinO'Brien.com. I don't know what this is. I don't know how this got started. I don't think I know this guy. I think he's from here. But I started seeing the banner or the frame for your Facebook profile picture, and I'm just, me and Facebook is like heroin. I fucking hate Facebook. But I've been on it for a long, long time. And we know each other really well. We've survived a lot, me and Facebook. This website is Colin O'Brien's genuine attempt to meet new people and go on more dates. See, he seems like an attractive enough guy. I'm not really getting a hetero vibe, but what do I know about anything? He's wearing some slippers. Oh, my PlayStation controller is disconnected. We'll have to correct that. So yeah, this guy started this and kind of has gone viral, I guess. Testimonials? Hold on. Colin is hilarious. He's funny. He's a good guy. He makes things happen. He's kooky. He comes off like he's got it all together. But you know underneath that he's got this vulnerable heart. Tony Award winner, Faith Prince. I don't know. My son Colin is a very kind and thoughtful person who would be a lot of fun on a date. He is the perfect guy for my daughter. He's the best roommate I've ever had and the best friend. So, date ColinO'Brien.com. I'm hoping he's happy with what's happening. Kathy Griffin has lung cancer. Jesus! Can we get a break? She was on TV constantly when I was a kid, so I wish her well. I don't know that I'd say I'm a huge fan, but I know a lot about her. I think about her a lot. She was saturated on Bravo, which is the only channel my mom will ever watch. Lollapalooza cancels DaBaby's performance after rapper said some wildly unprovoked homophobic shit. If you missed that story, look it up. there's this homophobia thing in the hip hop community or in whatever, community you want to call it, that is obviously still a problem. And I guess there's homophobia everywhere, but it really clashes on the mainstream in hip hop and popular music, I think, because those artists don't exclude each other in the come up really as much, so that you'll have peers who are very ideologically different, but to other people may seem awfully similar. This is I don't know what else I'm allowed to say, but Corey Feldman says Quentin Tarantino wants to direct him in a film, wants to cast him in a film. I would love that. Corey Feldman is the exact washed up kind of B-lister that Tarantino could resurrect for a good 20 minutes at least. I love Corey Feldman. I used to travel to see him with his band of angels. Rihanna's a billionaire. I don't know how the fuck that happened. Maybe makeup? This makeup shit is crazy, y'all. If y'all ain't developing some makeup, let me tell you, because that's where the billions of dollars... I'm going to start wearing me some makeup, at least. Whoa. Listen to this. From the New York Times, at 17, Julianne Diller was the sole survivor of a plane crash in the Amazon, waking up in the jungle on Christmas morning, 1971. 50 years later, she still returns to run, Ponguana? A research station in Peru founded by her parents. Dr. Diller remembers watching lightning strike the plane's wing. She remembers the aircraft nosediving and her mother saying evenly, "Now it's all over." She remembers people weeping and screaming, and she remembers the thundering silence that followed. She fell nearly 2 miles. Her row of seats is thought to have landed in dense foliage, cushioning the impact. Miraculously, her injuries were relatively minor. In shock, with a concussion and a small bag of candy, she soldiered on through the jungle. So I'd like to think about things like that when I have a bad day. I thought I was having a bad day until I just read that out loud. Good night. Not catch me in no jungle. I'll tell you that for nothing. Back to school season is starting, and I'm so fucking glad I fucking quit doing that for a living. Because COVID is back. Fuck it. The whole system is ill right now. Parents are being awful, and that is who your principals really work for. So it's whack, and it's going to be real whack by September. McDonald's is already closing dining rooms again. I'm just observing the shit. From Economist. As video games get better and job prospects worse, more young men are dropping out of the job market to spend their time in an alternate reality. 1843 met some of them. It's not like you can actually blame the overlords that buy subscriptions to The Economist. I think it soothes many a guilty conscience. I don't know. I think the tone of that article when I read it and put it in here probably 2 weeks ago, because my life is a mess. I think the angle is managerial elites trying to explain why they can't, find decent young gentlemen to hire into their hierarchy. It's easier to blame it on video games, I think. Fuck Jeffrey Bezos. I don't remember why. Do we want to click on it? We all know why. Right? What's this one say? Bezos' work-life balance will get a bit of a shift when he steps down Monday. Come on. Okay, this is from July. He says work-life balance is a debilitating phrase. He wants Amazon workers to view their career and lives as a circle. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, I'm going to fucking not piss all day in a warehouse because I like it. Taliban is back. That's going to be lit. It's only just begun. They're going to wear some of those poor translators like a coat. Breaks my heart. I mean, it's a bummer, right? Chick-fil-A locations may close dining rooms to address staffing woes. Hello. Hello. Yes. More of that. Taliban's back. Dining is dead. Fuck Jeffrey Bezos. I don't know. The show is late. The show is late. The show is absolutely late. And you know why? August has been crazy. August is typically a very transformative time for us, meaning the royal us, meaning like me and whoever, is committed to hanging out with me around that time. It's been really good at work. I've also been gigging a great deal. I started the podcast because I couldn't play music. I mean, that's why I started it when I started it. Because I wanted this outlet. And I miss it when I'm not doing it. And I really feel unsuccessful when the show is late. I feel bad having this commitment of this show and then pushing it off. You know what I mean? But Joe is my accountability partner. And he's, if he has any free time away from his new home or his new semester, he's supposed to be working on some fucking video for me. So, he's not schlepping down here to just pop in on one of these. So it's hard to, when your accountability partner needs an accountability partner for the accountability, we're going to persevere. It's going to be okay. And, we lost my granny a couple weeks ago. And I don't know that we've done a podcast since then. And I'm not going to act like it's not been a factor. It's certainly been a factor. It's been really hard. She was in touchy health for a long time. So it was sudden, but medically very understandable, if that makes sense. She and I were extremely close since day one. Never really fell off either. We were so lucky. We got 30 good years as, in our relationship, whatever you call that, was as, we lost my grandfather in December, and so for lifelong couples, this is often the case. She had a stroke in the 90s, too, so her likelihood of another any day in the last 20 years was really up there. And they'd been together since they were literally like 12 or 13. She'd recently quit watching TV because she didn't have him to talk about it with anymore. And she was just telling my mom that Fridays have always been her favorite day because when they were young, they'd save up notes all week and exchange them on Fridays. And they were really like my parents in a lot of ways. Probably more close to contemporary idea of like parent age when I was born than my own parents. But we traveled a lot together and they watched us all the time, weekends and holidays and New Year's Eve every year for 20 years. And they gave me my first cool job when I was in college. When I was in 8th grade, they gave me $1,000 to go to Europe. And that's like the last time I was even in an airplane, I think. And I have a lot of stories about that. And I'm not just sad though. So it has been really hard. The show has been late because we've been dealing with this for the past few weeks. And, I'm not going to act like it's not a factor. But when my buddy Ken passed away in 2019, I really started to feel his presence around me all the time. I had a dream where I saw him and he was encouraging me to go off and do a thing in the dream. It felt like an important thing. And I needed the encouragement. I don't remember the exact details. And, when I woke up, I felt like I could feel his influence, like his own hands around my shoulders. I could feel it right now. And I was really involved in his end of life care. And we really bonded by then. And he didn't have family here, and he was a real mentor for me. So I decided to involve myself. And I can feel that relationship wrapped around me all the time right now, even though he's, of course, deceased and no longer with us. He donated his body to science. So who knows? And I felt that way the whole time my granny was here after my grandfather passed. He was around me all the time. Maybe to make sure I took care of her, which I was doing alongside, my aunts and my mother. I don't know. But now I know they're together. I can feel it that way. And their relationship is kind of how I've built the framework of my own life. So to just have to have some time to process and deal with that loss made the show a month late. I don't know. Is it a month? It could be a month now. And I'm really at peace with all of this for the most part, but it took this amount of time, I think. I think it took this amount of time. This is my cold brew and tonic, Jesus. I'm on the wagon, sister. Oh, things to look for. Things to look for. Today, we are going to have a new exclusive content posted on our Patreon, patreon.com/JacobV. Let me walk you through a little bit what we've posted so far. Let me just look on my handy dandy iPhone here. We haven't done any exclusive podcasts yet. We've been talking about it, but we have so much content we're still editing. Demos and lossless quality masters of previously released material. Also previously unreleased demos. Some cringe gold of my first recordings from when I was in high school, or just trying to figure out how to do the whole thing. So there's lots of good stuff there, and there's lots of good stuff still coming. We have the Blinded by Stereo show from a couple weeks ago where we launched the Patreon. That's going to be up there. That's going to be really great. And it takes a village. You know what I'm saying? It takes a village. We're also currently booting up. I've been streaming Apex Legends again because everybody is, and it's hot right now, and it's like my favorite game. So we are currently copying an update file so that we can transfer over and stream some packs, brother. And for those of you that don't know, Apex Legends is a first-person shooter battle royale. It's free to play, sort of like in the tradition of Fortnite or something, where you drop in and there's a storm that shrinks, or maybe that was PUBG first, or Warzone, or whatever. I happen to like Apex the most for some reason. And a lot of people left Call of Duty for Apex because of the cheater problem in, is that what you would call it? In Call of Duty? What are we going to do about the Taliban? That's my thing. I think we posted on the show's Instagram at Jacob V Weekly on Instagram. Like, listen, if you have an opinion, if you have an insight, any sort of a take on the crisis in Afghanistan, reach out to the show. We got a phone number, 314-632-6602 to leave voicemails. 314-632-6602 to leave voicemails for the show. Or you can email the podcast at jacobvweekly@gmail.com. Because we reached out earlier in the week about opinions or insights about the crisis in Afghanistan, because I just don't know what to do. Originally, I think we were led to believe that we killed them all. Obviously not the case. And we hadn't had an American casualty in an operation in Afghanistan in months and months and months, I thought, I was told. And then recently lost 13 Marines, apparently, which is just heartbreaking. I mean, that's why we want to leave. We want to leave so that that doesn't keep happening. We can't do that. I think we've gotten to a point where we value individual lives of our country folk as such that we can't be just dropping them out there in the desert and not letting them ever come home. That's just not what's going to fly. And I think that's part of why Trump's presidency militarily felt like kind of lame duck-esque. I don't think he wanted anybody to get hurt. I don't think it made sense to him. I don't think he would ever agree to get hurt for a cause of any kind. I don't think he understands that sacrifice or that dedication. I'm just doing some tidying. Don't mind me. Welcome to the party. And I I think that's why he didn't get more done therein. But also, it's probably why he kicked the bucket. I mean, not the bucket. He kicked the can down the road on the pullout because he's slipped up before and said that there is a military-industrial complex and they love war. And you can look that up. He said that shit. And I think he just said, you know what, I'm not going to get in here with all these dudes. I don't even know them. Military dudes did not like Trump as the commander-in-chief. So, obviously, I mean, Biden's not at the wheel. He could have been at one point, maybe. Not lately. So that's a bummer. And in light of, we have a goddamn crisis happening. And I don't know what's going to keep us out. Because once we're all the way out of Afghanistan, what's going to be really bad to get us back in? And if we farmed all the lithium ions, I don't know that anyone's going to give a fuck. That's my take. I mean, what are you doing to save dolphins? You know what I mean? That's what we need. Some dolphin saving. Been gigging a lot. You can catch me frequently with Caroline Steinkamp. We got her full band up and running. We did an original set, The Heavy Anchor, last week, which would have been a great podcast evening. Again, losing me to the gigs a lot of the time. But the gigs are where I get to see you guys in person, and so that's much more my speed. I've been playing bass for Caroline. I play keys and guitar for Blinded by Stereo. We have an actual LP coming. I don't want to sneak too many details that I don't know for sure or certain yet, but it's going to be really sweet. It's going to be something I've never really done before. I'm going to have a release, a physical release of that caliber, so you're going to want to look for those. And tonight, while this episode is uploading, I am going to be scouring my Google Drive to see exactly what is supposed to go up on Patreon next for this week. Absolutely. So we're going to take a minute here to let this update finish, and we're going to switch on over. Come see us on twitch.com/JacobV, youtube.com/JacobV. We're also streaming on Facebook. Come hang out. We're going to be playing Apex. And that's going to be a short update on the state of Jacob V Weekly. But please, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Google, whatever. Please subscribe, rate, review, and share. Follow us on Instagram. I think I met a bunch of guys at a comedy show a couple weeks ago. I was recording the audio for one of the comedians, and Instagram is where those people are interacting, where creative people are getting in touch with other people. It seems to be Instagram. I don't know. It kind of makes sense. I mean, we're all going to fucking drink Gatorade and just communicate on Instagram. But it kind of makes sense. You can call the show at 314-632-6602. Leave a message, and you could have a chance to be featured in an upcoming conversation on pretty much whatever the fuck you want to leave us a voicemail about. Feel free to hit it up. You can find original music by me, Jacob V, on all of your musical platforms. And now, exclusive material on patreon.com/Jacob V. I also still curate those monthly Spotify playlists for you ungrateful bastards. I have one for each month. Search Jacob V's favorite songs and you'll see them all updated frequently. August is just wrapping up, but we got Donda, baby. New Kanye West daddy. I really like it. I'm an apologist. You know, I'm a big Kanye fan. He's like my generation's like one of our dudes. A lot of people don't like him, but I always kind of was suspicious of people that didn't like him for their reasoning. Early on in his career, people would say he was arrogant, which I probably agree with, but it also just always kind of felt kind of racially kind of shitty. Racially insensitive, I think, is that when I just feel like all artists that get that big, they say stupid shit and they're obviously disconnected from reality. But so early, it's like you're all telling this young black kid to shut up and not kind of promote himself. And it just rubbed me the wrong way. So I got locked into this thing where I kind of defend and enjoy Kanye even when it's ridiculous. Like on TikTok the other day, I saw him say, "We should have never let Michael Jordan play for the Wizards," in a stadium full of people. He's got a mound of dirt in a church, a chapel looking thing. I mean, it's good. It's good. I like that mid-stage Prince stuff too, where Prince was just getting goofy and just releasing shit online and just being a goofball. I love the goofy shit. My friend Ken, I mentioned before, really into Frank Zappa. You want to talk about fucking goofy? Goofy to the point of unenjoyable at times. That's my hot take on Frank Zappa. Eat a bag of dicks. 92%. Again, twitch.com, Jacob V. This impromptu podcast has been brought to you by Hodak's Chicken. I ate like 3/4 of a whole fried chicken just a minute ago. I have this lovely sugar-free barbecue sauce. Girl, I think it's from like the Whole Foods, but if you eat too much of it, it starts to taste like